I tell you, it's good to be alive. It is good to be alive. It's good to be a Wrexham fan any day of the week. But welcome in, welcome in. Tell you what, I can't wait for this match. Can't wait for all of them. 45 matches to go. Going to walk you through, but welcome in, everybody. The pre-game. Wrexham taking on West Brom this weekend at the Stoke Cadas. Got to tell you, it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one. I'm going to tell you where we're going. We're going to go and look at the field. I'm going to talk about the field as we open up this because there's something I want to share with you. Then we're going to take a look at the latest addition to the squad, Nathan Broadhead. Yes, we've got it across the line, and we're going to be talking about Nathan. And there's a few things you might not know. There's a few things you may know, but I'll interest you with some interesting stuff about Nathan. But welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. And hey, D. Scott, big up to you, my friend. How you doing? Good morning to you, my friend, as well. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night to everybody, wherever you are around this lovely little globe. But I tell you, we're going to be talking about the field. We're talking about Nathan Broadhead, the new signing. We're going to do a quick recap as well about last Southampton, the last league match. There's some things there that I think lessons learned. I'm going to talk about that briefly. Then we'll touch the head-to-head. Then we'll go into more focus on Wrexham. We'll talk about the prediction, more focus on West Brom. Don't forget, West Brom, Wrexham sound very similar. And we'll talk about Ryan Mason. There's definitely something about Ryan Mason that you've definitely forgot or you didn't know, which will maybe shock or surprise when we get there. And then to finish off, I've got an announcement to go through. And it's not the greatest announcement, but something's come up. I got to drop it on you. It's not terrible news, but it's keep you informed. So welcome in. It's 17th taking on 9th. Wrexham in 17th. West Brom in 9th. It's the Baggies coming in to the Red Dragons Stoke Cadas this weekend. And I tell you, it is going to be a tough one. Now, talking about the field, how impressed were you with that field when you first got to see it? And that would have been literally the whole City match midweek, the 3-3 draw, and we win on penalties moving through in the EFL Cup. Victory number 1 of the season. Many more to come. Let's hope, let's hope, let's hope. And that loss last week, tragic. But the field, staying with the field, how impressed were you with that field when you got to see it? I mean, I'll tell you now, it's stunning. It absolutely looks stunning. Beautiful field, beautiful surroundings. Who couldn't play football on that? I mean, when I look at that field, I see a Premier League field. Yes, I know we've spent big money on it, and you can see it looks like big money. But when you look down from our camera angle at the field, like you do with your TV sets, or your tablets, or your phone, or your laptop, or your desktop, or your big screen, whatever you're watching on, but when you look down on that field, doesn't it look good? Doesn't it make you think you're watching a match at maybe a Premier League club somewhere around the world? Because that field has really gone up in bounds. It really has. Who couldn't play football on that, mate? I'd tell you. It's smooth. It's even. It plays beautiful. The surface is nice and even. Drainage is fantastic. I mean, when you think about what's underneath that field, it's absolutely stunning. We at Wrexham have a top-class football field. So whenever an international game comes up now, there's no question where you need to go. Yeah, you could take it to Swansea. You could take it to Cardiff. You could take it to a few other places. But bring it to Wrexham. I think that really is the field that needs Wales, especially Wrexham, winning matches on it. What do you think? But the field, let me know what you think about the field. I think it's absolutely stunning. Now, Nathan Broadhead, £10 million. Going to go into the £10 million in a second. Back into Scott. The pitch looks really good. D. Scott says it's top quality. It's a Premier League field. Absolutely. Of course, it's £1.5 million worth. It should be. But yeah, mate, doesn't that look good? And I mean, yeah, big smile on your face, big smile on my face, many other people too. Yes, a totally top field. Now, Nathan Broadhead. There's some really good stuff I've got to drop on you now. Nathan, a Welsh lad, you may well know that. Yeah, from Bangor City. That's where Nathan started his career, was with Bangor in the youth department. And then he came to Wrexham as a wee little lad. And he stuck with Wrexham for quite some time. And then Everton came in and snatched him away for 9 years. And then he went around the leagues. And we're going to look at Nathan's structure right now, because It's not one that you want to rush through, but going through from Everton for a long time, let's have a look at where he went to. I've got all this written down for you on the books here right now. Everton 2017 to 2023, he actually played a game. He actually played a game and assisted in his first game and then got loaned out forever. And he got loaned out to Burton Albion. And that was 19 games, 2 goals. So he scored 2 goals as a young'un. Then Sunderland, 20 matches, 10 goals. 20 to 10, 1 in 2. That's pretty good. Wigan Athletic, not so great. 22 matches, 5 goals. Ipswich Town, this is where he made his bread. 76 matches, 23 goals. All throughout, played very well. And he's an assist king. He's an assist king. He's got the eye. He can unlock a defense. I tell you what, keep an eye out on the creativity from Nathan, because that's one of the big parts about his game. It's not just putting the ball in the back of the net, but it's the creativity. And with the league clubs, what I've just rang out, Wrexham now becomes his biggest club moving forward. Ipswich, you could say, were in the same division. They came down from the Premier League last year. Are they bigger than Wrexham right now? I don't think they are. When you look at the way Wrexham's grown over the last couple of years, I think Wrexham is in the driving seat. But now he's at Wrexham, and he left Wrexham when he was 10. He's 27. He's back home. So let's all welcome Nathan back home to Wrexham, back home to Wales. It's a 3-year deal. Hopefully, 4-year deal. Hopefully, he can become a bit of a superstar. 27 years of age. He's just prime. 26 is the prime age for a soccer player, yeah? But 27, he's just over prime. He's in his element, and he wants to be here. On the transfer deal, it was actually put out that before Ipswich would release him, they had to bring a player in, which they did. But now that they've released him, I tell you what, he's going to make his name with Wrexham. Now, looking at the international side, and I'm going to go into the squad. I'm very positive about Nathan as a player. D. Scott says, I do have issues on how much we paid Ipswich for the 1-year contract. I'll touch that right now. Everybody's talking 10 million. It probably will never get to 10 million, okay? Right now, you're looking at 7.5 in that area with additions coming through. Wrexham have got to get in the Premier League to get even close to 10 million. So there's a little bit. It's all add-ons. It sounds great, 10 million. And yes, when you put it in the books, it could be, maybe 10 million moving forward in a couple of years should Wrexham get promoted to the Premier League. That's what it all hinges on. It's not 10 million just yet. So the money, it sounds high, but if you went with 7.5 million, you're pretty much in the right ballpark there, yeah? Because remember, the deal that Ipswich were looking at from Ajax in Holland was around the 7.5 million, just equating the books. So go with that. I'd love it to go to 10 million, because if it does go to 10 million, you know what happened. Wrexham got in the Premier League. I'm not saying we're going in the Premier League this year, guys. Not at all. But like I say, that 10 million, it's not exactly. Now, let's take a look at Nathan and the international level, because it keeps getting better. But remember, Nathan started with Wrexham as a little man, a little boy, in the academy, per se, with the club, per se, and now he's back home to stay. Now, Wales. Nathan's been in 5 different levels. I'm going to read this off my board. 2014 to 2015, the U17s, 5 games, no goals. 2015 to 2016, Wales U19, 9 games, 6 goals. That's on the money. Wales U20, just 3 games, not really much time to play there because he was moving up fast. No goals in 3 games. The under-21s, 17 matches, 2 goals. Not exactly what you would say lighting it up, but let's think about it. He's a young guy coming through, learning his trade, getting bit part pieces in the Welsh national team as he becomes a regular, and he's got 2 goals in 17 matches in the process. And in the full national team, pretty similar. 14 matches, national team, full national team, and 2 goals. I tell you, a couple of other things as well. He's 27, like you know. Last season, 18 matches in the Championship. We're talking Championship because that's what we bought him for, yeah? 18 matches in the Championship last year, 2 goals again. So you could see he's not prolific in the goal scoring, but as I said on the head of this, it's the creativity that really is what we're buying with Nathan Broadhead. He's got an eye. He can unlock the defense. He knows which way to put the ball. He'll pass blind. He's looking at you. That ball's going that way or behind him, but he's looking, fooling, tricking. Very clever player. Very clever player. D. Scott back into it. Nathan's market value per transfer market is 5 million. Also paying half a gain more is not a bargain. You know, full value, what you just say there, absolutely not a bargain. But just let's per se, he has a prolific start to this season, and it carries on and it carries on. And should we then start to mount a charge, maybe next season to the Premiership, it could turn out to be a very cheap deal in the long term of things. If he flatlines and it doesn't turn out, which I don't really think that's going to happen. I think with Nathan, you've got a grounded player. He's quality. He really is quality. Or as we would say, his championship pedigree. He is at that level. That's his game. Championship level, that's where he should be. So that's his game. That's his pedigree. That's where he's supposed to excel. That's where I expect him to as well. There's no doubt about it in my mind. That's where he should be going. And looking at some of the things, like I want to take you through his season last year. 18 games, like I say, in the league, 2 goals. 3 games in the cup for a total on last year's season, 21 matches and just 2 goals. But don't forget that creativity, because that really is where Nathan comes through. And national games. This is where it gets interesting. 2023, 9 games, 2 goals. So that's where the 2 goals come through. 2024, 4 games, no goals. And 2025 so far, 1 game, no goals. So internationally, 2 goals 3 years ago. Since then, 5 games, no goals. Just letting you know. And finally, if you want to know who he scored against Croatia in a 1-1 UEFA 2024 qualifying match, and also scored against Gibraltar. It was 3-0 at the time, and Wales wins 4-0 on the night. Let's tell you what he's won. So you see this pedigree and how he's gone through. Premier League Cup 2018, that's the Everton under-23s winner, 2018-9. Sunderland, get this, EFL League One playoffs 2022. Ipswich, EFL League One runner-up the next season, 22-2023. And EFL Championship runner-up, that's what we're interested in, 2023-2024. Nathan knows what it's like to play on a big team. He knows what it's like to be promoted. He's had it done 3 times in very short term. You think 2022 to 2024, he's had 3 promotions. This guy knows what success is. When you get a guy who's playing with success and up at that level, it becomes very addictive to people around him. He's coming in as a big number around the team and the squad of our own big numbers that have built up over the last couple of seasons, yeah? Nathan's coming in. He's got a job to do. And winners breed winners. That's what I love about him. That is what I love about him. Now, moving along, there's something else I want to touch on. Quick recap last weekend. I asked you a question before I go into this. How disappointed was that Southampton last couple of minutes, hey? And did you feel it happening? Did you feel the walls closing in on us as time was progressing in the second half? The first half was phenomenal. And quite frankly, as my notes say here right now, if you can see that, read my notes. Because as I said there, we need to be clinical in front of the net. First off, we should have been 2-0 up at halftime. We should have been 2-0 up at halftime. Clearly, the chances were there. Windhouse was playing out of his skin. Kiefer was playing fantastic. The team was great. Kakache was doing brilliant stuff. O'Brien was amazing as well. All the new guys were pulling it out. Cody in defence was fantastic too. Cleworth on the right side. You got Brunty on the left side. I tell you, it was a phenomenal first half. Phenomenal first half. But what happened in the second half? We sat back too much. I'm going to give you some stats that really will prove it to you. But we could have been 2-0 up at half-time. Who doesn't think we should have been? Really? I say this, missing the chances loses matches. Missing the chances loses matches. Win a few matches, hit the target, climb the table. That's what we need to do. Pick up points. And if the scoring drought happens, there's one thing that will happen. We will edge further to the 19-24 slot, 19-24 slot that I talked about on the head of the season, that if we don't gel fast, and not at all, that relegation battle definitely is not too far away. We've got to be concerned not threatened, but we've got to be concerned about it. So a scoring drought is our worst enemy. Last week, the defending was fantastic. I know we defended all the way to the end and then took 2, but prior to that, some of the saves, some of the blocks, it was phenomenal. If you're looking at the shots, Southampton had 27 shots on our net, 10 on target. 10 on target, and they scored in the last couple of minutes. 8 prior to that were on target. That will tell you the amount of defending we had to do. They always tell you, when you're defending, you're sapping your legs now. You're getting nothing upfield. There's no connection. You're stuck in a rut, and you're stuck on the edge of your box with the bus and 2 buses parked. That's not the way we need to play. I know we're a counter-attack team, and we've been counter-attacked at all. But when you look at the stats, I'll give you the stats right now. Possession, 76%. 76% Southampton, 24% Wrexham. It's got to be better. It's got to be better. The pass accuracy, 86% for Southampton, 63 Wrexham. That has got to be better. I know we're a different beast at the Queiroz, and we're a different beast when we're playing away from home. But we have got to get on the ball. We've got players now in that team, quality players that are able to hold that ball. That's what we need to do. Hold the ball, get the possession, get the confidence, get the self-esteem up. Don't be frightened of the ball. It seems we're frightened of holding possession. If you don't hold possession, how are you moving up the field? Really, just saying, we've got to get possession up. Yeah, 63% possession. That is ouch. That is ouch. We've got to get on the ball. However, I'm going to say this much, though. There were many positives. To have lost a match like we did last week, 2-1 at Southampton, was cruel. It was very cruel. Southampton did not deserve to lose, but they did not, in my opinion, deserve to win. On the face of the stats, you could probably say, yes, they did. We had 10 shots on target, not so great. 10 shots on target, not on target. 10 shots at the target, 2 on target. We didn't do too great. We started fantastic, got that penalty. And like I say, we should have been 2-0 up at half-time, but we weren't. And to me, once you get one, you got to get more. And we cannot sit on our back line and expect all these championship teams not to score. You can expect that in League One. You can expect it League Two. You can expect it in the National League, because quality and excellence in front of net gets, I'm going to say it, worse the lower down the leagues go. It gets better the higher up you come. The quality, Championship, Premiership, Premier League, I should say, the quality is there. Don't expect Championship teams to not score on us. And this weekend, if we sit on our butts and we sit on our box and we counter-attack too much, expect West Brom to get into this. There's things about West Brom that will make you happier as we roll through it. I'm going to move on to the head-to-head now that we've checked that out. But Southampton in a nutshell, first half great, second half poor. And I tell you, we fell off literally right at the end. And it was a sad loss. Sad loss. Now, talking head-to-head, tea time. Cheers to you. Oh, that's good. Who doesn't love a cup of tea? Now, head-to-head, you can scour the net and you can keep looking for stuff to look at, but there probably isn't too much there right now. And, you know, I love the internet for finding stuff that really is deep, and I'll go into my books as well. I've got old books, volumes this thick. One of them I've got is from 1938, football volume 1938, and some of the stats in there they don't do today, but some of the stats in there they should do today. They give you more about the away team than they do nowadays on different angles. Yeah, even the mental game back then, yes, but looking at the head-to-head, not a lot between these two teams. And as I've got it here right now, right there, the two red lines, that is what's going on between Wrexham and West Brom. 1930, the first match, January 11th, FA Cup at Wrexham. And Wrexham wins 1-0 in the FA Cup. 1930 was the first game. And the last game was July 31st, 1971, 41 years later, also at Wrexham. Also against West Bromwich Albion, obviously. And it was in the Watney Cup. The what? What? What cup? The Watney Cup. Go look it up. The Watney Cup. Didn't last very long, but the Watney Cup. Watney's was a brewer, is a brewer in the UK. And that game in 1971, well, that finished 2-1 to West Brom. And that's it. And them are the only games, that those two played against each other. League Cup, competitive, not friendlies, but those two games is it. It's one apiece after all these years. So somebody's going to either win or draw again, but whoever wins gets bragging rights moving forward. But yeah, just two games in a whole time, and it's one apiece. One apiece. You'd have thought there would have been more. You know, an old club like Wrexham, an old club like West Brom, or West Bromwich Albion, should I say. You'd have thought there would be something there, but no, nothing at all. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. New focus. Let's go for Wrexham. Looking at Wrexham, I tell you what, I'm going to bring it right now, but I'm going to say this much. Nathan Broadhead. The only thing that I see that could be an issue is if he doesn't settle and if he doesn't blend with the team. I can't see that not happening because skilly players normally get given the ball and they're normally part of the drive. So I'm expecting Nathan to be on the ball. I'm also going to tell you he's going to play. He's going to play. He's already signed up. He's registered. He's ready to go. And I tell you now, I guarantee you, he's on that field. He's going to be playing. So get ready for that this weekend. But Nathan Broadhead, your top player, your most expensive player ever, signed, sealed, delivered, he's going to be playing. He's going to be playing. On the money and on the money side of things, Wrexham now £23 million, £23 million, $31 million spent on players so far. Don't forget that 10 million jobby with Nathan. It will go to 10 if Wrexham gets to the Premier League and add-ons as well. But so far, we brought in, as you know, Ryan Hardy, Danny Ward, Liberato Karachi, George Thomason, who's still getting fixed up. He's still a little bit knocked up. Josh Window's been a revelation so far, as is O'Brien, Lewis O'Brien, Connor Cody. I tell you what, he was fantastic in defence last week. Brilliant. Kiefer Moore, sad. But the way that twinged, or that joint is healing day to day with Kiefer Moore. Don't expect him back too soon, but don't expect it to take too long, yeah? Those things, ligaments, stress fractures, etc., they take a little while to come back. And the way he smashed that ball, when he hit the ball, did you think, no? Did you think, yes, get through, put your foot right through it? Because when he lines up for that shot, if you go back and have a look at the replay, you'll see someone's cleats are up and Kiefer Moore's foot's coming through. Boing. When someone's got their foot up and the ball's in there, you don't plow through, you don't smash through, because you know your own momentum is probably going to break your leg, break your ankle, stress something, do the ligaments, but your own impetus is what is going to cause your own injury. Sad thing to happen. Anyway, Kiefer, he will be back, and like I say, Nathan Broadhead, less than a week, and he's in. I'm also going to say there's still a lot more time in the window to get more players in. September 1st, I believe, coming up will be the shutdown, but you've still got a lot more time to bring players in. Will Wrexham bring anybody else in? Do we need anybody else? Would you bring in anybody else? You got 9 players now. That's a big number. You could bring one more in, I guess. But who would you bring in? What would you fill in? Do we need another position where we've got 2 guys battling for one position? Example, James McLean, left side midfield. He's now battling with Kakache for that spot. As you noticed last week, Kakache started and James was on the bench. So think of that what you will when our captain sits. But maybe James McLean will be moved into midfield, into midfield, off the wing. Who knows? But Kakache seems to be the guy that's taking that spot. You spend a couple of million on him, he's not going to be sitting on the bench, that's for sure. Back into the chat. D. Scott, we should know more about Kiefer tomorrow. Absolutely. I'm guessing 3 weeks to, at worst, 3 months. Seems there's no outright tears to contend with. He got really lucky with that. I mean, when you saw his foot, like, he could have easily broke his ankle. I mean, he's a big boy, and plowing through with the foot on that tackle as it comes in from the defender, got lucky. Could have been so much worse. Yeah, 3 weeks to 3 months. Give it 6 weeks. See what happens in 6 weeks. 6 weeks to me seems like a good number. He's there, back, trained, rehabbed, rested, ready to go. But 3 months? I was listening to Phil Parkinson talking about Kiefer a couple of hours ago. And Phil, in his own words, said it could have been worse. It shouldn't be that bad. They're still waiting to see how it develops. But his own thought is that it won't be that long. But it's going to take a while, for sure, for sure. Again, back into the chat, D. Scott would like to see another top flight back. Someone young with promise. I want to see speed. I think we need more speed in the team. I don't think we have enough speed. Yes, Ryan is tricky. And Longman, either Barnett or Longman, both tricky. Longman has a lot more body strength on the wing. Ryan Barnett, a bit more fragile. But speed, a wing back with speed, yeah. Another top flight back. I absolutely say so. If we want to get real, let's get up in the championship. Let's get up into the premiership and see who's not getting regular games. See who's decent. See who has been on the periphery of international U level. English, Scottish, Irish, Welsh. It doesn't matter what nationality. Find someone from the Premier League or the championship that's not getting great time, but has potential. And has shown potential prior to. Some players go to clubs and they'll flatline. They'll come in with a great form, and all of a sudden, it just nosedives. And it takes a while to come back up. There's a lot of things that can affect a player on the field. It's not just what happens in training. It could be what's happening in life. It could be how he feels he fits in with the squad and how he doesn't fit in with the team. And don't forget one thing. We've got a great bunch of guys at our club, and every club has a great bunch of guys. But I'll tell you now, playing professional football, as you know, not everybody is your friend in the squad. Especially the guy that's battling for the same spot. Oh, yeah. So think about that when you think about squads and you think about who's working for each other and who's going to make each other look good. You've got to have a happy, happy squad. And Phil Parkinson, his man management, flawless. When you say publicly you're going to be releasing people, as he said today, and then people are your players who've put themselves on the line last 3-4 years, getting this club to where it is, and you're saying publicly people are going to be up to where it is, and you're saying publicly people are going to be leaving, you got to manage that ship. Phil does a fantastic job. But yeah, $31 million we've spent, and I tell you, I think it's money well spent. I really do. I don't think we're going to find a better transfer season ever. I think we've really hit the ground running there. And all we now need is to get the win this weekend. Prediction. I've got it here. I'll show you again. I'm not lying. Everything I do, I show you. Prediction. Got a couple of things going for you. The first one is the way things are shaping up. And what I'm going to show you in a minute or two about West Brom, and I got an announcement coming, and we're going to be talking about Ryan Mason, their coach, as well. Incidentally, numbers on the boards. Phil Parkinson is 57 years old. You know that. 1,027 matches on the career. Wrexham, 221 matches coached, 136 wins, 49 draws, 38 losses. Get this, 61.9%. That's Phil. That's Phil. It's getting higher all the time. It really is. I mean, look at his record. Wrexham, 4 years ago, second in the National League. 3 years ago, first in the National League. 2 years ago, second in League Two, promotion. Second in League One last year. 3 promotions back to back. Has finished out of the top 2 in 4 years. Tea time. Amazing. Again, I ask, where do you think we're going to finish in the championship? I mean, really, where do you think we're going to finish in the championship? 9 players brought in, quality players, I tell you, pretty damn decent. But as for the prediction, if it goes Wrexham's way, because, like I say, this one can go either way. I have some good news for Wrexham fans coming through. We're going to be talking about West Brom pretty soon. What I drop will make you smile. It really will make you smile. You'll love it. But for Wrexham, tough game. Championship top 10 team. West Bromwich Albion have finished in the top 10 in the last 4 years, yeah? 4 years ago, they finished 10th. 3 years ago, they finished 9th. 2 years ago, they got into the playoffs. They finished 5th. Last year, they finished 9th. They are a top 10 team. They've also been relegated 5 times from the Premier League in the last 22 years. 5 times. Can you say yo-yo club? Yo-yo. Yo-yo. Get that yo-yo out and start playing it. That's West Brom's past. Yeah, 5 times relegated. They've also won the second division / championship 6 times as first place. Yeah. So they are what you would say a big club in the championship, have been for many years. They had a great run in the Premiership for quite a few years not so long ago. And recently they've been relegated twice in the last 6 years, last time being 5 years ago. Pretty big championship team coming in. Prediction-wise, Wrexham, I can see this finishing a 1-1. I really can see a draw out of this. But if Wrexham step it up, maybe the 1-0. But that defensive game has got to be perfect. And like I said, every match we go into now, each of these championship teams has a couple of strikers capable of putting the ball in the back of the net. They also have handy creativity in midfield too, and decent defense as well, with goalkeeping backing it up. It's not going to be easy no matter what the day. But our best chance to put points on that board is at the Queiroz, absolutely every weekend. This weekend, it's either a 1-1 or a 1-0, should it go to Wrexham. If you're talking about West Brom, who are very capable, I'm going to give you some stats right now from West Brom as we get into it. But if it goes West Brom's way, maybe the 1-0 squeaker or maybe the 2-1 outside shot. So as you can see, I don't see a blowout either way. The 1-1 is pretty much on the cards, but it could go 1 goal either way. With this, West Brom should be the slight favourite to get something out of here. But will they? And when I say will they, it's because I'm going to start focusing right now on West Bromwich Albion and bring up what I put together about those guys right now. Interesting stuff, really. You look at West Brom, 6 guys came in. Nat Phillips from Liverpool for £3 million. From Liverpool for £3 million. Centre back. Decent. Not exactly making it at Liverpool, not exactly making it anywhere but the Championship. Came to the right place, went a little bit lofty. Jack Bray from Harrogate Town, nothing to say there. And Tege from Peterborough United, compensation. You got Hegabe from Brom for 4.7 million. Interesting centre forward. If he hits it and gets running, you never know what's happening. George Campbell from Montreal, and that's a 1 million jobby. And Christian Bielik from Birmingham City. Bielik last year. Do you remember when Wrexham played Birmingham last year? And Bielik got the red card for getting handsy on Paul Mulling and Andy Cannon. Can you remember that? Can you really remember that? I can. Yeah. Bielik. Remember that? I can. Yeah. Bielik from Birmingham is now with West Brom. Decent player, but he got a little excited. How much have they spent so far on this season getting ready for this? $8 million. Sorry, £8 million. About $12 million. Just under $12 million in US terms. Doesn't really change their fortunes. 2 players released, 1 player loaned in, 2 players loaned out, and get this, out of contract. You'll shake your head now. 16 players released out of contract. New contracts, 11 players. So when you look at the numbers, the players they brought in, the players they've released, etc., new contracts. Forget about the contracts. Forget about the contracts. The released players. Again, like Southampton, this squad has been wholesale changed. They're looking to reignite the squad. They're looking for a promotion charge. They're looking to get in the playoffs is what they're doing. They're not looking to win this league. They're not that good. They're not going to finish second either. But they have a possibility and a good chance that they could master the charge into the playoffs. That's where they're going. That's what they'd love to do. If you're looking really at what's happened this season, 1-0 on the road. First game against Blackburn Rovers. Next up is West Bromwich Albion against Wrexham on the road. And then they go back home to play Portsmouth, Stoke City, and then Derby County. So literally, West Bromwich Albion has had a very nice start to the season. There's not, what you would say, anything there that's going to rock the boat. And being a top 10 team like they are, they should be able to come in to these 5 games, cement at least 3 wins. They've got 1 already. They need a couple more wins and a couple of draws, maybe 1 loss, and they should be sitting in a playoff spot. Let's see what happens, but that's where they should be going. Now, Ryan Mason, the coach. There's something I said earlier that you definitely have forgotten, or you might not know. But Ryan Mason, didn't have an amazingly long career. He was injured. He had a fractured skull situation, and that came about against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. And Gary Cahill was a defender that literally, the ball was coming across the box. Say this is the goal face in front of me. The ball was coming across, and 2 players went for the ball. Ryan Mason was standing central in the goal and literally just jumped up to head the ball. Gary Cahill came across and head-to-head. As Mason went up, Cahill headed right through his head. Chelsea, Stamford Bridge, Ryan Mason. Look it up. You can find it on YouTube. It's quite a smash to the head. And when Mason went down, you can see the look on his face. He's not out of it. But what he is concussed. He's dazed. And you can see there's some form of pain in his eyes where he's literally not in a good place. And guys around him are holding him down, stopping him getting up, because people around him can realize that it's not just a knock. The guy's in distress. He's really in a situation where he's probably been banged badly. It was, in fact, a fractured skull. It ended his career. Gary Cahill did nothing deliberate, nothing dirty. It was a coming together, unfortunate coming together. It sometimes happens in football. And don't ever ban heading in football just for an accident like that. But Mason had to retire in 2018 and then went into coaching. And if you remember back, if you're a Spurs fan, Tottenham Hotspurs, Ryan Mason actually coached Tottenham Hotspur twice, and he is and goes down as the youngest man ever to coach in the Premier League. He was 28, and he coached Spurs 2 times. I've got his numbers right here. First time as a caretaker coach was 2021, 7 games in, 4 wins, 3 losses, not so bad, 57%. Second time he did it was 2 years later in 2023, 6 matches, 2 wins, 1 draw, 3 losses for 33%. Now, as of June 2nd, 2025, West Brom coach, 2 games in, 1 win, 1 draw, 50%. Forget about the 50% right now, but 2 games in, unbeaten. Let's go with that. For 50% to stay 50%, you got to put 100, 150, 250, 350 games in for that to be stabilized. Tea time. Oh, who doesn't love a cup of tea? Oh, doesn't love a cup of tea? So, talking about this chat, D. Scott, with the money Wrexham is throwing around, a few £1 million would get you that speed for sure. I agree, mate. I agree. That's one of the categories that I think we need to throw into the team is the speed. And we need to make visiting the KRAS scary. Yes. Yeah. It's been a bastion. The last 3 years, it's been a bastion where it's a fortress where everybody who comes in knows they're going to have a problem. But that quality jump, yeah, that pedigree in football or pedigree in soccer, it's going to make it interesting, I tell you. And I'll also throw this in, as we're talking about West Brom sliding in with Wrexham. I am not against tough games. I am not against battles. I am not against going down a goal to have to get back into the game, to fight and fight and fight and really battles. I am not against going down a goal to have to get back into the game, to fight and fight and fight and really see what you guys are made of, you know? Like, we need to get in some situations where we're getting beaten up to get back in the game to beat them up, yeah? And literally, if you have it too easy all the time, it gets a little bit sort of complacent sort of thing. You're expecting the wins. Like, you look at Manchester United for many, many years, ran away with things. The fans at Manchester, good fans, but they expected it. Now the Man United fans can't handle it. The last 10 years, they've had more than 10 years. 2013, Ferguson left, I believe. Sir Alex, he left. And they've had nothing ever since. So, you know what I'm saying? Careful what you wish for. Careful what you think about. We've had 3-4 really good years. This is going to be the toughest of the last 5 years, I'm telling you now. But be with it. Jump into it. When that stress comes along and we're losing or we're in a tough game, enjoy it. Ride with it. Because that kind of stress you can't buy. Yeah? Never run away from the stress, man. Never run away from the stress. Ever, ever, ever. But yeah, we need to make visits in the KRAS scary. Very scary. West Brom 2-1. Sorry, Wrexham 2, West Brom 1. Likely to happen. 2 goals against West Brom would be a big, big day. 1 goal, I think we got a chance there, but 2 goals would be a big day. And conceding 1, who starts again? Do you see Arthur starting or do you see Danny Ward? I like what Danny Ward did, and he made some hell of a good saves and read the play well. And unfortunately, the free kick, I forgot about that. The free kick, just before the free kick goes in, go back and have a look at the highlights. Go back and have a look at them highlights, and you're going to see what I'm telling you right now. Just before that free kick goes in, Danny Ward shifts across to his right, and he's looking. And then the camera goes on to the shooter. And what does the shooter do? He sees Danny Ward shifting, so the shooter's like looking around the wall. He's like, how much space do I have? When I saw him cock his head, I'm like, oh no. I felt right there and then that goal was going in, that free kick would end in the corner. When he peeked in the corner around the net, around the wall, that gave me a bad feeling. Anyway, carrying on. Just 1 second. Going to go to our man, Mr. Nathan. Sorry, Mr. Ryan. Where's Ryan? West Bromwich. There we go. We're going to get Ryan again on the board. Thank you very much for lighting up. He retired in 2018, like I say, the fractured skull. Now, West Brom, top team. Last season. Okay? Get these numbers. 46 matches. 15 wins. 19 draws. 19 draws. Yeah. 12 losses. 57 goals scored. So 57 goals in 46 matches. They can score, but not prolific. But they can score. They conceded 47. So they're a goal a game in conceding. There's our 1-0. But the defensive line must stand tall. I told you as well, they've won the championship in 2019 and 2020. 6 years ago, they won this division, went up to the Premier League, and came straight back down. They've been in the championship 4 years, but they won this division 6 years ago. They've won this division 6 times. 2024, 2015, like I say, 15 wins on the whole season, 19 draws. It's them 19 draws. Now, the home form, that's one thing, but the away form, last season, 15 wins on the whole season, only 4 wins on the road. 11 draws on the road. 8 losses. 23 points on the road, 41 points at home for a total of 64 points, finished 9th. They're a top 10 team, guys. I'm telling you straight, they're a top 10 team. There's no doubt about it. We are in for a battle. And Ryan Mason, like I say, what did he actually win? I'm going to show you something once we get there, because Ryan Mason's got quite the list on his head. Here we go. Getting down to the nitty-gritty. What did he do in his career as a player? Not too much. He wasn't there long enough. But he did play one time for England. That was in 2015. And like I say, percentage-wise, 57% as a caretaker coach for Tottenham Hotspurs in 2021, 33% in 2023, and right now he's 50%. And with Tottenham, he was a Football League Cup runner-up in 2014, 2015, and with a manager as a Tottenham, he was EFL Cup runner-up in 2021. So Ryan has actually been around, done a lot of things, got a lot of coaching, but he's only 34. He's a very young coach. Like last game, Will Still, 32. Very young coach. And with Phil being beaten by the younger man last time, I'm thinking this time around, Phil needs to beat the younger man and get the win. Now, talking about the match thoughts, and I'll go into the chat right now. Phil Weston, how you doing? You're never late, Phil. You're never late, lad. You're never late. You're always on time, lad. Always on time. And Cody Moosey, hello to you. Cody Massey. Sorry, Cody Massey. I had a stripe in front of your name. Sorry, my friend. Number 2, if Wrexham are going to make top 6, we got to win games like this. I absolutely agree with that. And I was thinking about that point before I came on. You must have been reading my mind, Cody. But I said to myself this. There's 3 teams that came down for the Premier League last year, yeah? You know all about them, but I'll say their names for some people that may have forgotten. You had Ipswich, you had Southampton, yeah? Big teams coming down. And you also had Leicester City. Them are going to be tough teams to win matches. Those are the teams that you really have to go and get something against. We dropped 3 points already. And there's 3 games each, home and away. There's 18 points from them 3 teams in them 6 games. We dropped 3 right now. We need to go 500. We need to get 9 points out of 18 against them 3 teams in them 6 games. I'm not saying we need 3 home wins, but if that's the way it is, fine. But the other 7 teams, from 4th all the way down to 10th, inclusive West Brom, who finished 9th last year, them are the teams we have to execute against. The top 10 teams, the top 7 below the top 3, yeah? Them are the teams we have to get points against. Those are the teams we've got to go and win away at and pick up points away at for us to have a chance at your top 6. Absolutely. We've got to win games like this. So if you figure it out, half the table are games where we have to go for it. And half the table is where we've got to go with it, where we're expected to get something out of the games. Bottom half of the table, we need to go against them teams and get something out of it. With what we purchased this time around, the best ever Wrexham, I'll tell you what, ever Wrexham window in history. This is the biggest ever. When you bring that kind of talent in and you bring the team up and the squad up, the bottom half of the table are teams that we have to demand points out of. We've got to dominate them points. And that counter-attack system that we love so much, look, I'll put it to you this way. If you're playing a team of similar level, you got to step up and fight for every second of it. You got to kick, you got to spit, you got to go for it. Talk it down, talk it up, whatever you got to do, get in people's heads. You got to master the game. You got to manage it from 1 minute all the way to the final second of the game. When that whistle blows for the final second, you better give everything. That's what we got to do. If we do that, with the quality as well, or the pedigree, then things are happening. But yeah, I love what you say there, Cody. If Wrexham are going to make top 6, we got to win games like this. And you just jog my memory, Cody. I don't know if you're relatives, but a person I used to go to school with was also by the name of Massey, Linda Massey, good friend of mine. Yes, just saying. The name Massey goes along. Now, talking about this match coming up, and I got an announcement coming up after this, guys. You won't be too impressed, but you won't be too sad. But it's a good announcement in a way, okay? But talking about the match itself, what kind of team are we going to put out there? You know, Nathan Broadhead is going to play. It's nice to think that people can get a debut goal when they start for their team. And let's face it, how do you feel that Nathan is feeling right now? That he's a Welsh international, but now he's going to be playing for a Welsh club. He's come back home. He's not so far from Bangor City, where he's originally from, but he's now with Wrexham, a team where he was as a little boy of 10 years of age. So he's come back home. It's not unusual, and you could see it happening, that Nathan actually bangs one in on his first day. Could it be the first couple of minutes? You never know. Could it be the second half? Could be. But as long as Wrexham win and he scores the only goal of the game, I think I would be ecstatic. I know you would. I know the guys in the crowd would too. I know people around the world would as well. But we need him to come through. And when he does come through, let's hope he keeps flowing. Let's hope the team starts to pick it up. The midweek game was a lot of fun towards the end, and you have to say, got to say it, there's a lot of players come in that are doing good, our new signings. Midweek, Ollie Palmer bags 2, saves our asses. Do you feel sorry for Ollie in certain ways that maybe he's not going to get the time he probably thinks he could once Kiefer's fit, once Nathan hits it, Windass as well? We got lots of weapons. But is it coming to an end eventually for Ollie Palmer? You don't know. You don't know. Hopefully not, because you always need a big man. And if Kiefer gets injured again, I'd be keeping him. But all I'm saying is as the quality grows with this club, you're seeing more and more people stepping in, big players coming to our club. The best ever transfer window history. Best owners you could imagine. The COP getting done. Takes 10 months probably to get it finished. Yeah, more people added to the bill. The club growing all the time. If you look at the state of this club, the state of health, and what's going on all around us, I don't know many clubs that are the state of this club, the state of health, and what's going on all around us. I don't know many clubs that are doing what we're doing, moving at the same pace. I'm not just talking the promotions. I'm just talking moving at the pace this club is moving. It's sometimes breathtaking to know where we've come from, to sit today and look at what we're playing. Look at the teams we're taking on. I mean, literally, I get an absolute buzz just looking at the names for the teams coming through that we got to play at or welcome in. I mean, 5 years ago, you could not have dreamt of playing Southampton, Ipswich, Leicester, West Brom, Birmingham. You couldn't have dreamt about it. You couldn't have even thought about it. And look at it now. And I'm taking nothing for granted, and I know you're not as well. But look at it. Look where we are. Look who we're taking on tomorrow, West Bromwich Albion. A team that was in the Premier League for quite a few years, not so long ago, doing okay, should not have been relegated, was totally mismanaged, literally ruined the club in the final season in the Premier League and shot them down to the Championship where they've been for the last 4 years. Just think about the teams and the clubs that we're playing. It's like an FA Cup final or a Welsh Cup final every bloody week. Doesn't get much better. It doesn't get much better. As for the match, you've heard what I've got to say as stats-wise. Coming through, I feel a tough game coming. I feel a game where Wrexham are going to have to be very patient. But excellence in front of net. Excellence in front of net. Would have brought 3 points home last weekend against Southampton, and it didn't because we didn't have the excellence. Just getting a penalty was beautiful, but just a penalty is not always enough to win you a game of football. Now, I've got an announcement to bring you, but I do say this. Tough game. Tough game. We're in there. Phil needs to do his homework. The tactics needs to be right. And slow down with the substitutions. Let's have some methodic substituting. Because I feel last year, or last weekend especially, sometimes some of the substitutions are coming in too late. Bring him in a little early. Give the guy some time on the field. Let him get in and feel and touch the game and be part of the game and be a benefit to the team. Bringing people in cold, chasing shadows, not being in the game, not time to get in the game. It's literally not the best idea to put a cold player into a hot game. What do you think? Now, an announcement. I knew coming into this season that this game coming up, there was something going to be happening for me. Hello, buddy. How you doing? Cabby's in the game. Hold up. There we go. Yeah, I got you here. Yeah. He's going to do his own thing. Watch this. Cat trick. Look at that. Didn't even have to touch him. Look at that, eh? And just like that, the appliance of science, Mr. Bigtail, is out of the way. His name is Cabby. Cabby. Because he was living in a cabana, a little box, and I saved him. Yes, because I'm a good guy. And he's a good cat. He's a funny guy. But anyway, back into it. The announcement. I knew coming into this match there was going to be an announcement coming through, And it was an event that I was going to have to go to. And I'm sure when you have a wedding in the family, you got no choice. But if there's a wedding in the family and you got no choice and you got to go and you're going to go anyway and you're going to have fun, Stevie demanded one thing. I need 3 big screens in every room showing the match. Okay? And the match will be played on Revolution. So it's not going to stop. So there's 3 rooms where we're going that will have 3 TVs set up. So I will be able to see the match no matter what, all the way through. And if I get bored, I'll just hit replay and watch it again, which means I'm going to be traveling to the wedding. And once I get there, I'm going to be enjoying it. But one thing I won't have is the studio. And I won't have the microphone. I won't have the cameras. Because I've been told that I've got to go and enjoy this family wedding, which I will. But as I said, I made sure there's a TV in every room so I can watch the match. And yes, I will be decking some Wrexham stuff into the wedding decorations as well. And yes, it is part of my family who's getting married. So it's going to be a big day. It's going to be a big day. But I knew about it. So I won't be able to commentate the game coming through. That's what I'm saying. But I will be back for the next game, which is Sheffield Wednesday. And that's August 23rd, the following Saturday. So you'll get me there. Not a problem. But for now, I'm going to say it's going to be a tough game. I got a feeling that Wrexham has a chance at getting a draw, possible win, but it's got to be perfect. And excellence in front of net must be apparent. We can't make the plays and not finish. Let's see what Nathan Broadbed can do with the creativity coming through. Because we just brought in another big player. And the things that we put together so far in this team and in the squad is making us into such a big team. And if you think that we don't get to the Premier League this year, look what we've got in this squad now and look what we can add to it in January and make a charge for May. Look what we can add in next summer to make a charge for next season and add to it again in January. We've got 3 trade windows before 2 seasons finish. We can prep for one and we can charge to the Premier League in the second. That's what I think would be the best plan. Maybe you've got better plans too. But for now, get in the game. I will be watching. I will be there in heart and spirit, sitting right next to you, cheering crazily right next to you, getting and hoping for the first points of the season. And that's what I'd love to see. But for now, all I'm going to say is get ready for it. Because I tell you, I see a tough game. I see a game where we can get something out of it, but only with a great performance in each match can we overturn these championship teams. And we're now a championship team. But to keep the points coming home and get the results coming as we've seen in the last few years, we need excellence all around the field, particularly up top in front of net. I'm going to go into the chat before we disappear. D. Scott 6629, have a good day, Stevie. Looking forward to hearing your comments on how this match went. Ta-ta. See you later, my friend. Everybody else, have a super day, a super afternoon, a super evening, a super night. Get ready for another super Stoke-Ass football match at Wrexham. And as I say, each weekend, it's Wrexham. It's West Brom. It's the Keiras. Let's have it. Cheers.